Equalizer 2. Alright, let's just get this over with. So Equalizer 2 tells the story, not a story, 5 stories, about Rob McCall who has to help people out in their daily situations and their struggles and also solve a mystery murder in Belgium when his best friend dies. So let's just kick this thing off with what I do like. First off, let me just let you know that when I first saw this trailer many months ago, I had no idea that they were ever going to make this movie in the first place, because Denzel Washington's not known for making sequels. This is his first sequel that he's ever made. That's what I've been told. But when I saw the trailer and I saw Denzel pop up on screen, I immediately thought, this is going to be nah, it can't be. Yep, it's Equalizer 2. Once again, Denzel Washington is doing his best. And also, you got excellent directing by Antoine Fuqua. You got lots of fighting scenes here and there, but that's also a con, because even the fighting scenes are not like really inventive or new. It's just the same things we've seen before, and they're very quick. They just happen. He just walks in, punches someone, takes the gun away from someone else, and then it's over. There is an action car scene where Denzel's fighting somebody in the back seat of his car the whole time, and that's pretty interesting. That's probably one of the best action sequences in this movie, besides the end. This movie's third act tries to like outdo the first one, but they kind of go overboard. They try to do this like hurricane heist vibe thing with like a major hurricane, and they gotta fight through it. I felt it was kind of cheesy, but at the same time it was interesting to watch because you didn't know where Denzel was at, and they're getting picked off just like in the first movie. But like I said, the fighting in this movie was choreographed well. I liked how the friend of Denzel Washington before she dies. Spoiler alert, it's in the description of the movie, alright? It just tells you. When his friend dies, but she doesn't just go out without a fight. She fights, and she knows how to fight. This movie also taught me a little something. I just learned that flour apparently is flammable. I never took that cooking class. Now let's move on to the negatives about this movie. This movie felt so cluttered with so much going on. It just kept cutting from like this story to this story to this story. Denzel's helping this person to this person, to the point where you kind of just forget what the main point in the movie is, which is a murder of his friend in Belgium, because she's getting too close in solving this case, and therefore she gets killed, and now he's trying to solve the mystery that she was trying to solve. But that whole storyline just gets buried with all this other shit that keeps happening left and right. You got this storyline with a kid who's like trying to be a gangster so he can provide with it for his family, and then you got this old guy who's like got dementia or something, but he's like trying to find his wife who he lost a long time ago, and you're not sure if she even really exists anymore, or she's just dead and this guy's just fucking losing it. And then you got the storyline where Denzel, I'm just gonna call him Denzel. Denzel is a Lyft driver. That's right, you heard me correctly. He's a Lyft driver. That's what he does now. And everybody who gets in his car apparently has never heard of the concept of just shutting the fuck up and talking to yourself in your head. That's not an option. They just voice their own thoughts just out loud as if there's not someone in front of them listening to them thinking, you're fucking crazy, keep it to yourself. But the people who get in his car who aren't weird and talking to themselves, which is just a bunch of pointless scenes that we didn't really need, are people who have problems and therefore he helps them because he's just a nice guy. Denzel's also got a full head of hair in this movie compared to the last one, and now he knows another language. This movie felt like Grand Theft Auto if it were a movie. Because if you've ever played Grand Theft Auto, you know there's the main mission, the main storyline, and then you branch out to do all kinds of side missions if you want, or if some games you have to earn enough respect to go up the main timeline. I don't know. The first 2 acts, it was just like this story, this story, this story, this story, and you're like, and then just a little bit of the main story here. And then finally, it starts going down just the main story and forgets about all that other shit we had to sit through. There's parts of this movie that I feel just drag on. There's a scene where he's trying to like solve the mystery in his head. And it's a crime that we as the audience have already seen. So we already know the answer, that it wasn't a murder-suicide. But yet we have to watch our main character try to solve it, but we already know the answer. Now let's talk about the villain of this movie. The villain of this movie, you know who it is as soon as this person steps on screen. They don't do anything really to hide who this person might be. As soon as you see them, you're like, yeah, that person. And then you find out their motivation later on. It's just like, really? That's your motivation? Oh, I'm just pissed at the government. I got fired. Now I'm working for the bad guys. And that kind of weak, stupid motivation is just like right out of that movie American Assassin. The same thing. Even the opening to this movie just felt kind of weak. It was nothing we hadn't seen before. It's just Denzel doing his Equalizer trick where he's like sees people in slow motion as he's playing things and he keeps hitting his watch. They do carry over the characteristics of this character. They don't change him in any way. He's still that OCD character who's reading books, and in this movie he finally finishes reading all 100 books that he was trying to accomplish in the first movie. But I just felt like this movie was so bogged down with too much. I would have just preferred to see him being a Lyft driver the whole time, just keep doing case after case after case. I was actually more invested in the whole gangster side plot where he was trying to keep this kid off the street. That was more interesting because that was like a father, he's being a father figure to him, just like he was being a father figure to the Chloe Mortez prostitute in the first one. So that would have been more interesting if they just would have kept going down that route, but I guess there wasn't much meat there to make a full-length movie. And I think this movie might have just been like an advertisement for Lyft. But in the end, this movie just disappointed me. I did get bored. But I will say the fighting scenes are entertaining and there is some blood and gore in this movie. There's actually intestines in this movie. But unfortunately, I just can't recommend paying full price to go see this movie. It just wasn't that good. Felt a little too long. There was things that I felt like that weren't needed. They tried to do too much. It just felt cluttered. So I would just recommend that you go get this movie. And those are my thoughts. Did you see Equalizer 2? Let me know what you thought about this movie in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to click on my sexy face and to like and share this video with all your friends. And until next time, auf Wiedersehen.